What's going on, Los Angeles? Welcome to the Rams Skinny here on the LAFB network. We are Los Angeles Sports, and this is your home for Los Angeles Rams news. Thank you for checking out the Rams LFB YouTube channel. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you have not already. And all of our Rams content, along with all of our Los Angeles sports content, can be found at LAFBnetwork.com. Skinny T, how we doing? But first, well, not first and foremost, how are we doing?
I'm doing good, man. Mark Maron's stopping his podcast. We're switching things up for our podcast. I think times are changing, as Bob Dylan once said.
They are a changing. Yes, they are. But times I did not think would ever happen would be Jared Verse challenging Aaron Donald in the weight room. My first question for you is, does this seem like a good fun banter, or is this legit two competitors that are kind of going at it? Because they never were actually teammates. I mean, everyone forgets Donald retired before Verse got to town. So they were never teammates, actually. And it seems like maybe it's fun. Maybe there's actual little riff going on. What do you think?
I think it falls somewhere in between the two. I think that they're having a good time with it. Obviously, they're not going to go to blows at any point, most likely.
Yeah.
But these are two very competitive guys. You know, when I first saw Verse out at training camp last year, I had to ask Shula if he was taking on a leadership role within the defense, because he was just talking, chirping, getting after everybody. We later learned on that Sean McVay had to shut that down and tell him what we before me kind of ethos is all about, that these people are your teammates. But I think it lies somewhere in between, because just the competition there. And, Donald is, he takes these things seriously. I think he takes it a little bit more seriously. Now they're having a good time. I think Donald wants to show that he's still got it. Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, let's not forget Aaron Donald's only 34 years old. Yes. He's been now heading into his second year of retirement. Clearly you can see that
That's
dude
crazy.
is not, right?
2 years. Wow. Weird.
Yeah. 32 when he retired.
Yeah.
So the guy would still be one of the best defensive players in football if he was still playing. So love you, Jared Verse, but let's watch what tree you're barking up. The dude's now working out with USC players, keeping him young. We just saw him with Shaquem Stewart, the great 5-star at USC, working out together. But I think what could be fun here, Skinny, is why not do a liftoff for charity? I mean, we have a lot of people have done a lot of charities, the Rams being one of the big organizations to lead this, but all these fires that happen, like why not do a liftoff for fire relief, or a liftoff for home rebuilds, and do a good cause, have some fun with it, get some social content. Who wouldn't want to watch Jared Verse and Aaron Donald go toe to toe in the weight room?
I'm gonna ratchet it up. Let's go bare knuckle boxing.
These
okay. Two.
Well, we need Jared Verse this season, so I don't know if we want to go that far.
Shirtless and shoeless in a ring someplace, just squaring off Fight Club style. I don't know.
Oh man, that would be at some California roadhouse. I wish we had roadhouses out here in California. Just
there's some good ones. There's some good roadhouses.
Yeah, but like up near like Pismo or Cambria, just a nice little Cali roadhouse, bare knuckle brawl. But speaking of Jared Verse, go ahead.
Well, let me ask you, who you got? Who you got in a fight between the old man and the young man?
I mean, who'd you put? Until he's like 50, I'm never going against Aaron Donald.
Yeah. I'm not betting against that guy.
Not betting. I mean, don't get me wrong, though. Jared Verse has obviously proven that he is a beast, and I think he flew under the radar in the draft process. I know the Rams took him 17, so still a first-round pick, but he was never one of those guys that was really talked about as like, man, this guy's a freak athlete. This guy's a beast. Look at the strength. And we saw it on display all season. So he would hold his own for sure, but I'm not betting against Aaron Donald. It's like betting against Patrick Mahomes in the fourth quarter. Like, just don't do it. Stop.
Yeah, 100%.
So, but speaking of Jared Verse, spoke recently. What was it on was it the Rich Eisen show?
Eisen show, yeah.
Some show about, feels like he left 10 sacks out on the field in his rookie year, which you and I talked about a lot, actually, because he did. I mean, he had all these pressures, but they didn't quite have the technician or the technique to turn those into sacks. What was your thought on kind of his comment on that? And two, do you think he can turn into a 15 plus sack player, maybe even this season?
Yeah, it's interesting going back and looking at his stats from last year. The pressures are obviously what earned him the defensive player or the defensive rookie of the year. Definitely, but 4.5 sacks.
Yeah.
And a bunch of missed tackles too, which
Yeah.
some of those were on quarterbacks, Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts. And yeah, I mean, I love the enthusiasm, but going back and looking at the stats, it's not like, he built on top of the year as he learned. He had 2 sacks in the playoffs against the Eagles, and then nothing for like 7 or 8 weeks. He had a stretch kind of in the middle where he racked up 3.5 sacks somewhere, and he had one in his very first game. So the track record isn't showing me that he learned how to get to the quarterback, how to play disciplined. One of the things I noticed is he's hair blazing quarters 1, 2, and 3, and then by fourth, I think he ran out of gas a little bit. Maybe I'm wrong on that. That's just kind of an eye test thing there. So I think he's still playing with his hair on fire, but where is that discipline being instilled in there? And he's talking about it. He's talked about learning all these things about how to optimize being in coverage and how to balance everything, the workload with all the other pass rushers. So I'm very curious to see if it really manifests. And coming in like he did as a rookie shocked all of us. So I think I'll be shocked if he gets to 15 sacks, but I wouldn't be shocked if he gets into double digits.
Yeah, it's playing any position, not just the edge. Like, it's such a physical, obviously, game. You got to have the physical tools, the strength, the speed, but it's so much more mental, I think, than a lot give credit for. And obviously the quarterback position is mental. Obviously tight end we've talked about is mental. The center position is a lot of mental. Whoever wears the green dot on defense, there's a lot of mental there. But I think the pass rusher, there's a lot more mental to it. And a lot of thought is like, as long as you can get off the ball quick, if you've got long arms, you got a nice pass rush move and more strength, you're going to win more often than not. You ask any great pass rusher out there, Von Miller, obviously you could ask Aaron Donald. A lot of it is awareness, kind of almost knowing what your opponent in front of you is going to do before they do. Like if Lane, if a great tackle is going to kick step immediately out wide, if you can read that based on their stance and you can spin inside or swim move inside, boom, you're getting the quarterback quick in a sack. Whereas if you read that wrong, he's going to tie you up, push you outside, and get you out of the play. So a lot of it is physical, but there's so much more mental preparation and mental awareness and mental fortitude that you need to have in order to turn those 4.5 sacks into 14.5 sacks. And so, yeah, I agree with you. Like, we have to see it first. We can't sit here in June and say, yep, just because he's going to year 2 and has OTAs and stuff, yeah, it's going to happen. Does he have the physical tools to do it? 100%. Does he have the strength to do it? 100%. Do I think he has the mental awareness to do it? Yeah, sure. But we got to see it. And I think by drafting who they drafted out of Michigan in the 3rd round, who's a great pass rusher, obviously they got Byron Young. Like, it's going to, it allows them to have those different packages where they can rotate guys out, but also it's going to kind of force guys like Jared Verse to be better, because as good as he was, and I don't want to sound like we're being overly critical because the dude won defensive rookie of the year, but he did leave a lot of, I mean, he said himself, 10 sacks out there. I mean, we said every week, like, man, the guy could have had 2 or 3 sacks if he would have just wrapped up correctly or hit the right hole or done this. So there's a big difference between being a really good player and a great player. And so if he can make that step to be great, man, then this defense is going to be really special. And obviously the pass rush will be really special. So I'm excited to see him get there. I'm excited, but yeah, I can't say here in June that he will.
Yeah. And another thing that has to be said is the Rams cannot leave edges unprotected in the running game. They're quite a bit gap sound, but we've talked about it with Troy Reader and Christian Roseboom. Their ability to get sideline to sideline and being in the right spots in doing that, it's not a strength of this team. Is Pooh Ford going to solve all of that in his rookie season as a 3rd, 4th round pick, 4th round pick?
5th, I think.
5th? Oh, wow. 5th round pick. That's asking a lot of a 6'1", 250-pound linebacker.
Pooh Paul. Yeah, Pooh Paul.
What did I call him?
Pooh Ford. There's Puna Ford.
Oh yeah, Puna Ford.
Chris Pooh Paul. Yes, got you.
Chris Paul. Yeah,
exactly. I knew who you're talking about.
Yeah. So The Rams have always asked a lot of their edge rushers. I was listening to Bill Barnwell talk about Michael Hoyt on the Buffalo Bills, and they're talking about how he's just a year removed from being the guy most in coverage, and
not a good thing.
No,
it's not a good thing, Bill Barnwell.
You gotta set those edges. You gotta get to the quarterback, and as a Rams edge rusher, you got to drop into coverage, and so it's a big responsibility for him, and he's got to build on it. I think what he did as a rookie was fantastic, but it's time to take that next step, become a little bit more of a mature player, become run game sound, and get to the quarterback a lot, and that's asking a lot from Verse, but it's what they need. It's what the defensive line needs.
So the last question on this topic, one of the big trending things right now is, can 100 human beings take down one gorilla? So what are you taking, 100 Jared Verses or 100 Aaron Donalds versus one massive silverback gorilla?
Can I do 50-50? Because I mean, he's got the, Versus got the length of a gorilla. He's got the
length. Yeah.
And I think Aaron Donald has the mentality and the stoutness of a gorilla.
Well, I mean, that's a good point, because the big debate is it actually possible? And I don't know if it would be possible with just 100 Donalds or 100 Verses, but you combine the two, gives you some versatility there in the battle. And you got, if you're going 10 wide and you go every other, you get the length of Verse and then the stout quickness of Donald. Like, there's something there maybe.
Yeah, and if you've been watching the John Mulaney show, you learn that 3 teenagers can take down a full-grown man.
What teenage are we talking? Like 13 or like 18?
There were 3 14-year-old boys took on John Mulaney on his Everybody Live show, and they took him down because they learned you go after the legs. Each one goes after a leg, and then you just wrap them up and take them down.
Yeah.
So yes. I'm taking either one. Gorillas aren't that bad.
They seem pretty terrifying to me. I don't know. I don't know if 50 Ryan Dyroods and 50 Ryan Andersons are taking down a gorilla. I don't know.
No.
I'll say 100 of us. There's not a lot of length, size, quickness in those 100.
Well, speaking of liftoffs, any bare knuckle fighting, any of that, I'm still throwing down for Tutu Atwell. We're the same size, 5'8", 150-ish, right around there.
Wet.
Yep. I want Tutu. I want to raise Tutu because we're the same size. So he can't be that fast.
There, you heard it. You heard it here again. Most influential Rams podcast.
I've been throwing it down for years since he got drafted. Been throwing it down, and he's too chicken to accept my challenge. But I'll say this: we went to SoFi for a tour, and we did the 40-yard sprint, and my quads were sore for an entire week after that one sprint.
Do you remember what you ran?
I don't. 4:25, I think.
Oh, that's what I thought. Yeah, I thought you were running like sub 4 almost. You were like 4:1. Did you ever run the 40 back like in like, you're still athletic, like you run every day, but like in like your more, I'll just say your younger years?
No, I mean, high school was rough for me for multiple reasons, so I didn't end up competing in any sports. But no, I mean,
I think my best 40 time when I played high school football, I think I ran, which is I'm not proud of, but I think I ran like a 4.7 or like a 4.69 or something.
That's pretty impressive.
I mean, for a slot receiver, it's not. But I always told people, like, I got off 2-3 steps. I'm beating you. I'm beating you every time off 2-3 steps. You're gonna catch me down the sideline. You'll catch me. But hey, I'm gonna turn those 2-3 steps into 40 yards every time.
I love it.
I might not break it for 80, but I'm gonna give you 40.
That's all you need.
Quickness, baby, and heart. All heart.
Lunch pail, heart.
Not enough heart for us to beat a gorilla, I guess. But anyway,
no.
I digress. So, let us know what you guys think. Jared Verse versus Aaron Donald. But Verse, I think, potential to have a monster season. We will see if it comes to fruition. Drop your comments below. Please hit that like and subscribe. Rams LAFB is the YouTube channel. Rams Skinny on audio platforms, and LAFBnetwork.com is where you can find everything for Skinny T. I'm Ryan Dowd. Talk to you guys all in just a few.